Hot Toys, are they actually listening to collectors? That's the question we're going to ask in this video. Let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to ask the question, Hot Toys, are they listening to their customers? Are they listening to their collectors? So in this short video I've put together a list of 7 different things. It's a non-exhaustive list of just things that I've noticed over the last few months and even years that collectors have been asking for, and finally Hot Toys are actually given to us. Of course this doesn't prove that they're actually listening, but to be honest, a few of these things, especially the combination and the sum of all parts, kind of suggests to me that yeah, they are actually listening. It's not just a coincidence. Let's take a look. Number 1 is simply Cyborg. For years the Justice League was basically incomplete and fans were looking to complete the lines. A lot of fans actually bought the Justice League Superman and Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and they'd end up selling them off because they thought Cyborg was never going to come because, well, Hot Toys seems to have this kind of allergy to completing lines. But however, eventually it went up for pre-order, and they actually accompanied it with a post on their Hot Toys official Facebook and Instagram group that just kind of said, you know, you asked, we listened, something to that effect. So that's number 1. Number 2, USB powered. If you own an Iron Man or any figure with those tiny little batteries and you've spent an hour of your life trying to put those little batteries in only for the actual lights and LEDs, the batteries to die after seconds, you know how frustrating that could be. We basically, for years, collectors have lobbied for USB power or USB-C power, some sort of rechargeable kind of a function that basically either you plug in or preferably, well, in my own personal opinion, I'd prefer if you could just charge it up and it would just stay lit for weeks, but like that's probably not going to happen. However, they have taken strides, and now you have certain Iron Man figures appearing with the USB light up. The Black Adam that was recently announced last week, apparently that's going to be USB-C powered. You have the Mark 1, it's USB powered, and there's another one from the Hall of Armor as well. So that's the second one. Number 3, USB powered lightsabers. For years, collectors have been going the custom route with the CCFL lightsabers and stuff like that, and having to pay up to like $100 for the lightsaber, the light up part, the wireless remote, the plugs and all this kind of stuff. But now, as we can see, in the last few months we've had a Kenobi and a Vader from the Kenobi show, and also a Reva and a Grand Inquisitor, all complete with USB powered lightsabers. It's about time. I'm curious to see how they're going to work, what they're going to look like, and are they going to be as good as the customs. Number 4, diorama bases. We hate the sand bases, right? We don't like the sand bases with the silly footprints. A lot of the bases can be like either oversized or even undersized and just kind of cheap looking. You've got this amazing lifelike hyper-real character, and then you put it on some plastic octagon, and a lot of them, they just look very, very, yeah, I'm going to say it, toyetic. So in recent months, in the last year, we've definitely seen some fantastic diorama bases appear. Just off the top of my head, the last week there we have that Cobb Vanth. It's a very simple diorama base, but it's quite nice. I'd take that over a sand base or the basic Star Wars base that we're used to getting. The Mark III base looks fantastic. What's the other one? The Black Adam one there with the kind of throne, or even Boba with the throne. I know it's not necessarily a base, but they've kind of upped their games with diorama bases. Oh, how could I forget actually? The Andrew, the Toby, and the Tom from Far From Home, or No Way Home? Yeah, No Way Home. I mean, those 3 bases, the Lizard, the Sandman, and then that kind of like kind of Doc Ock style base with the tentacles for the integrated suit Spider-Man. Yeah, they have listened. Number 5. And I'm kind of saying this with a pinch of salt, completing lines. In the last week, we've seen that tease for the Grand Inquisitor line. So you have Reva, the Grand Inquisitor, and the other 2, I don't know their names, but it looks like they're saying we're going to complete this line. Funny line to complete, considering it took them so long to complete the Justice League line, and technically it's not finished yet and won't be finished until Cyborg comes out, but they seem to be trying to complete lines. It's almost like they've been watching the streams and have listened. Number 6, representation. It's no secret that Hot Toys tends to underrepresent female characters and characters of colour. However, over the last few months and definitely the last few years, we're getting some phenomenal head sculpts. I mean, look at that Reva or that Valkyrie. Shuri was a fantastic head sculpt as well. The Don Cheadle head sculpt on the Iron Patriot is fantastic. We've got the 2 guys from Shang-Chi, and then female characters. You've got Yelena, multiple different Black Widow iterations, and of course Ahsoka as well. So they're definitely getting better. We just need that Zoe Kravitz Catwoman to prove that you're really listening. Number 7, Peacemaker. Do I really need to explain this one? The jointed arms were terrible, the body proportions didn't seem right, the head sculpt and the stick out tongue and stuff like that, none of it really made sense, did it? But they went back, listened, fixed the arms, the body proportions look a bit better from what I can tell, and the head sculpt, even with the mask on, you can tell it's John Cena. And a bonus one, Cobb Vanth. This was a funny one because they went ahead, they announced the Cobb Vanth. I personally thought it was overpriced. I don't think the head sculpt's that good, and of course you couldn't take off the armor. Well, I know there's a hack for it. I know Posing with Peter did a little video showing that you can do it, but like, do we really want to go messing with a $300 figures if it's not meant to actually be taken off? Anyway, long story short, within a few days of announcing the figure, they added another few images which clearly show that the armor is off and that you can display it with that Book of Boba Fett look, because let's face it, a lot of people, myself included, would kind of have an interest in this figure to pose with Cad Bane. So in conclusion, folks, yeah, I do think they are listening. Maybe they're watching some of the streams of the bigger YouTubers. Maybe they're reading the comments on their official Hot Toys and Instagram posts, or maybe they have people that they have that are kind of involved in different groups and stuff like that. I'm sure that they are listening, and it's nice to know they are actually. Maybe they're not meeting all our demands, but let's face it, they're never going to keep all collectors happy. But they definitely are improving, and they're kind of giving us little bits and pieces, probably a bit slower than we'd like, but they definitely are kind of delivering on some of these things we want. Again, I've said it before, Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman, preferably with an amazing head sculpt better than that Kivit girl, shouldn't be hard. But that's it. If you want to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know if you can think of any let me know, do you think they're listening or not? You can also follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.